Om Sri Sadguru Paramatmane Namaha. I bow to my beloved Master. I bow to all masters of all lineages, of all times and all places. I bow to all of you. Good evening. I grew up in a small village without electricity. I studied in Odia medium school, and then I was privileged to get educated in the premier educational institution of Odisha, and where also I taught. But I was not used to, Western style of communication. When I went first time to Europe in 1994, and since then I have been touring. One evening, one telephone came. It was around 9:30. So I thought it is already night time. I told good night, and the other one hung telephone. I was shocked. I asked my host, why the person hung the telephone? What did you tell? I said good night. He said, why did you say good night? I said, if it is morning, it is good morning. If it is night, it is good night. Is it not night? Then I was taught that good night means bye. However, good evening to all of you. How the evening will be good if the day is good? How the day will be good if the morning is good? How the morning will be good if you have slept good? So it is a cycle. So how to make our life good? I am really happy to be in this premier institution of India in the field of technology, and it is my great pleasure to speak to all of you. And I also appreciate Vivekananda Samiti. When I was a little boy, I was well motivated by the spirit of Swami Vivekananda. And not only that, I wanted to be a monk there. I wrote letters. They told me, finish your university study and then you will think of being a monk. Human destiny or God's plan. Before I finished my university studies, I met my Gurudev, Paramahansa Baba Hariharanandji, and so my life took a different turn. So Swami Vivekananda is in my blood since my childhood. When I was a schoolboy in class 9, I told you I was studying in Odia medium school, but in English language and literature. So there was the essay, Your Great National Hero. In class 9, I wrote, Subhash Bose. In class 10, I wrote Swami Vivekananda. However, I am going to talk on Kriya Yoga, which has a very nice link with Swami Vivekananda. You will say how? The year Swami Vivekananda was addressing in Chicago, in the same year, a great master of Kriya Yoga was born in Gorakhpur, in Uttar Pradesh. He is Paramahansa Yoganandji, whose picture is here. And who went, I'll tell one story. One young man came to Swami Vivekananda and asked him, can you be my master? He was in late teenage. He said, no, I am not your master. Who will be my master then? One Indian yogi. How can I know him? He will offer you one silver cup. And this was the dialogue in 1893. In 1936 Christmas, you imagine, 1936, how many years after? And this young man who has become, adult or old or whatever you say, he discovered Paramahansa Yoganandji, who offered him a silver cup. That's why I tell Swami Vivekananda, and spiritual paths are all interlinked. Nothing is. However, I'll come to this topic, Kriya Yoga, because time is very short. Once I was traveling from Miami to Sydney via Los Angeles. So up to Los Angeles, I had a passenger, one elderly lady. We didn't know each other. So she looked at me, my dress. I usually sit in the aeroplane also like this, even if it is economy class seat. She asked me, "Do you practice yoga?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I also practice yoga." Then I looked at her. Then she said, "Do you know, I go and practice yoga every day. My granddaughter, she doesn't understand what yoga is. If anybody asks, 'Where is your grandmother?' she tells, 'My mother has gone to yogurt club.'" Yogurt means curd. Modern English is yogurt. Then I thought, that girl is quite smart. This yoga and yogurt are interlinked. You'll ask me how. I'll give this explanation. I don't know if you have made yogurt at any time. I learned it first from my mother. Then I perfected it in Chennai in 1987 when I was with my Gurudev, 31 years ago. If you want to make yogurt, you should have some milk. You should boil milk. It should not be too hot. It should not be too low in temperature. It should be moderately warm. And in that tumbler of milk, you take a spoon of yogurt, which we call it as culture, and put it in it. You should not put too much. If you put too much, it will be too sour. Little. And take this pot of milk and yogurt together, keep in a quiet place. If the temperature is like Kanpur now, 40 plus, 41, 42, 43, in 4 hours you will get fresh yogurt. So, what is the meaning? The meaning is, we all are milk. We should be transformed into yogurt. Milk is, liquid. Yogurt is, So, to be transformed from milk into yogurt, we need the company of the Guru. The Guru is yogurt. So we should be moderate. We should not be too extreme. And then we should spend some time in quiet place. And then transformation is done. Yoga brings transformation, and once milk becomes yogurt, it cannot be turned back into milk because it is forever. Once you really advance in yoga, then you cannot be an ordinary person. I was an ordinary person, now I'll tell I'm not an ordinary person. And we all have that potentiality. So, yogurt can be buttermilk, but no more milk anymore. One transformed forever. So what is this yoga? Yoga is Sanskrit word. In Hindi we call yog. In Sanskrit word, yoga. And when I speak in West, I tell, your English language is one of the poorest language in the world. They look at me with big eyes. I speak in England. I have spoken in Oxford. I have spoken in Harvard. So when I tell that English is one of the poorest language of the world, they look at me. I said, look, you borrow the words from many different languages, even from Indian languages. Now you will find yoga also in all English dictionaries. Yoga, guru, mantra, all these you will find in English dictionary. And our modern so-called English medium children, they will think that yoga is English word. However, when I said you borrow, I said not only that. For example, water, pani. For water, how many words you have in English? They said one word. For hand, how many words you have in English? One word. I said poor language. In Sanskrit, for one object, let it be flower, let it be water, let it be hand, for each object we have many words, and each word has multiple meanings. They asked me, what is the use? One word is enough. I said, yes, poor man, bread and butter is enough, or dry bread is enough. For a rich person, many courses of food. A language is rich if it has plethora of words, and every word having multiple meanings. Yoga has at least 32 different meanings. How many? 32 different meanings. The simplest meaning of yoga is union. What is the simplest meaning of the word yoga? It's union. When I came, I folded my hands like this. Two hands folding together, it is united. And while Professor Mishra was speaking, he was telling that yoga means addition or plus. When I have spoken in many churches in West, I told, why do you use cross? It is not cross, it is a plus. Because in mathematics, cross is like this and plus is like this. The cross which you use, it is like this, it should be a plus, it is not a cross. They look at me like this. I asked, why do you use cross? They said, because Jesus was crucified. I said, have you read the Bible? They look at me, because I have read Bible thoroughly. I have read the Gita thoroughly. I teach them Bible. I said, do you know, when Jesus was not crucified, he was telling, carry your cross and follow me. At that time, he was not crucified. They said, yes, it is written. Then why do we use it? They look at me. I said, look, I will tell you why do you use. He said, why? I said, in this plus or your cross, there is one big horizontal line, vertical line, and a small horizontal line. Big vertical line is English alphabet I. I means ego. Crush your ego. Cut your ego. Reduce your ego. Manage your ego. Then you will be united. Simplest meaning of yoga is union. I am looking at you. You are looking at me. Union of eyes. I am speaking. You are listening to me. Union of words. The mother is holding the baby. Union of the mother and the baby. So, union at every step. If my Gurudev would have been here, he would have told, do you know what is yoga? Yoga is union of two. Bulb and electricity. Union of two. Bulb and electricity. Without electricity, bulb cannot give light. Without bulb, electricity cannot give light. Bulb and electricity together, there is light. In the same way, body and some power inside the body, which we call it as the soul, body and soul together, there is life. Only body, no soul, dead body. Only soul, no body, ghost. So, am I clear? So, in this room, how many bulbs are there? You will tell us. Many. So, many bulbs, but electricity? One. So, one soul or one life principle, many bodies. So, we all are connected. Many bulbs are connected with the main switch. We all are connected with one. Knowingly or unknowingly, So, what is the meaning of yoga? You will tell Swamiji, yoga is do like this, do like this, do like. No. It is a very insignificant aspect of yoga. Yoga is not just body gymnastic. Sometimes I tell, do you know, look at my finger. Can you do like this? Do like this? Can you bend it like this? I have not done anything to my finger. It is my inborn gift from my mother. Yoga gives flexibility, not just flexibility of the body. The real meaning of yoga is to give flexibility, to adjust and accommodate in every situation, pleasant or painful, and to be strong and steady to be successful. So what is yoga? Yoga is union of body and the soul. It is the beginning. Union with the Almighty, the Supreme, it is the ultimate. And yoga is the art of successful living. Yoga is a science. Yoga is an art. Yoga is philosophy. Yoga is life. My Gurudev used to tell, do you know, We all are alive. Yes or no? Yes. What is the sign or indication? Because we all are breathing. How the breath is going in and coming out? My Gurudev has asked countless doctors. We have spoken in West how a person is breathing. The doctor tells because of some chemical reaction in the brain. Because of some chemical reaction in the brain. My Gurudev told, find that chemical reaction and continue it. Nobody will die. We all are alive because of breath. My Gurudev used to tell, breath is life. Breath is beauty. Breath is brain power. Breath is strength. Breath is your wealth. If you will be intelligent, it is because of breath. If you will be successful, it is because of breath. And unfortunately, in India, although we have been given with this spiritual wisdom, treasure, but we have not been taught. However, simple meaning of yoga is union, clear. Now the second word is kriya. Because of the union of body and the soul, because of the breath, kriya means activity. Again, kriya is split into two parts, kri and ya. Anything you do, I am talking, you are listening, a professor is teaching, we the students are trying to learn, or we are doing some innovative work in our laboratory. Anything we do, the mother is cooking, sister is serving, I am taking food. Anything you do, kri means activity, ya means love and divinity. Anything you do, if you can do it with love, you will not be stressed because you are doing it with love. Study with love, reflect with love, walk with love, speak to a friend with love. Anything you do, if you can do it with love, you will get more success. So simplest meaning of kriya is activity with divinity, activity with love. And which brings the ultimate experience of yoga, and because of yoga we are working. So this is the simplest meaning of Kriya Yoga. Am I clear? Now I will take you a little bit deeper into Kriya. Do you know, we all are human beings. We are not animals. And it is said the human beings are the best of God's creation. Why? Because of our brain and the spine. In the creation, if you look, some animals have no spine. Yes or no? They are spineless. And others have spine. The spine is horizontal to the ground. Among the animals, those who are little bit more intelligent, they sit like this. Even the monkey sits straight, but not all the time. We the human beings, except sleeping, we keep our spine straight. Our spine and brain make us distinguished from others. Am I clear? Again I will tell. The yogis of India, they knew since time immemorial how to make this brain and spine effective, useful, productive, restful. Modern science and technology is not able to provide us that. How could they do? They knew the secret of the brain. Once I was invited to talk in the University of Vienna on psychology. So it was packed with people. I asked, how old is the modern psychology? They looked at me. They told, couple of centuries. I said, have you ever heard of yoga psychology? They said, never. I said, yoga psychology is thousands of years old. Because they knew how to regulate the mind, how to control mind. Once Swami Vivekananda was asked, Swamiji, if you will be born again, what shall you do? Swami Vivekananda smiled and he said, if I will be born again, first I will learn how to control the mind and then everything is in my hand. You just think, in your life, in your career, in your daily activities, who is the real obstacle? Is it not the mind? However, Kriya Yoga is based on some techniques which keeps the brain, spine healthy, and ultimately body, mind, intellect active and dynamic, and giving us all-round development. This is what Kriya Yoga is. I'll speak a little bit on brain and spine to understand a little more. Inside this skull, some fluid we call gray matter, and that is the brain. And the same brain gray matter is flowing down inside the spinal column. This brain and the spinal column, they regulate our life. The cranial nerves, vagus nerves, sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, motor sensory nerves coming from the brain to the whole body through the spine and again going back through the spine to the brain. One who knows how to regulate the brain and its function, one who knows how to keep the spine healthy will make everything possible. How to make it? So now I will come back into Kriya Yoga, the technique which we do not teach in public, but I will give some ideas what it is. We all are breathing. Yes. How many times we are breathing? 24 hours. But do you know, the yogis in India, they calculated thousands of years ago. They said 21,600 times on an average. How many times we are breathing? 21,600 times on an average. And if you divide it into hours, 900 breaths per hours. If you take it a minute, then it will be 15 breaths per minute. The modern doctors also tell 15 times breath per minute. One breath, how many seconds? 4 seconds. This is on an average, but this is not healthy breath. You will say, why? If you think 2 seconds inhalation, 2 seconds exhalation, you are not really taking enough air into the body. It is shallow breathing. If you want to be really healthy physically, mentally, intellectually, if you want to keep your brain really good, you should bring more oxygen into the body. Do you know why do we yawn? Do you know why? When the brain doesn't get enough oxygen, tells the mouth, Mr. Mouth, Mrs. Nose is not taking enough oxygen, open your mouth, take lots of air inside. It is just, temporary adjustment in the system to provide oxygen into the body. Now what happens? You see, I'll give you a simple analysis. In the body, suppose one person's weight is 50 kilos. How many kilos? 50 kilos. The brain, the weight of the brain. What is the weight of the brain, 1.5 kilos maximum. 50 kilo, 1.5. So if you make 100, so what is the percentage? 3%. 3% of human body is the brain on an average. And total amount of oxygen that we take, 20% of oxygen is consumed by 3% of the body. That's why my Gurudev used to tell, oxygen is the nutrition of the brain. 97% of the body is breathing or using 80% of oxygen intake. Am I clear? When we are not breathing good, this shallow breathing, the brain doesn't get good oxygen. So the brain power, we feel dull, we feel lack of interest, we feel lazy. So to provide more oxygen into the brain, this is number one. Number two, to keep our spine flexible and in good condition. Flexible and good condition, Kriya Yoga helps. Kriya Yoga is based on some special breathing technique, not like this. Very simple. If I tell you this, Kriya Yoga was in modern times, in 1861, was revived by a great yogi, Mahavatar Babaji, whose picture is there, who initiated Sri Lahidi Mahasaya in the cave near Ranikhet. Lahidi Mahasaya came and lived in Banaras in Kashi till 1895. So Kriya Yoga came from the Himalayas to Kashi, Uttar Pradesh. And from there it started spreading. Paramahansa Yogananda went to America in 1920. And I don't know if you have heard about Kriya Yoga Express, a train's name. Have you heard it? There is one train, its name is Kriya Yoga Express. It goes from Kolkata to Ranchi. Congratulations, he knows. Kolkata to Ranchi, Kriya Yoga Express. So, Kriya Yoga Express started from Ranikhet to Banaras, Banaras to Puri, Puri to America, and then all over. Kriya Yoga is a meditation technique. Kriya Yoga is a meditation technique. It is based on breath and regulation of breath. It is also based on concentration in the chakras. Now I tell you another technical word. Concentration in the chakras. You will tell what is chakras. Chakras are the energy centers in the body. 2 energy centers inside the brain, 5 energy centers inside the spine. So Kriya Yoga meditation technique is based on breath, concentration in the chakras. These 5 chakras in the spine, they regulate our activities. It's very interesting. 5 chakras in the spine. I will tell you from the bottom. If you look at the spine or look at the picture of the spine is ending like a tail. The last end part of the spine, that area is called as Muladhara Chakra. In the medical language, they call coccyx. In the coccygeal area, there is Muladhara Chakra. If you can energize Muladhara Chakra, you will get material success. You want to be rich? You will be rich. One day I was sitting giving a talk in New York. People are sitting like this. I said, do you know how rich I am? They look at me, they thought, oh God, a monk coming from India talking about how rich, and they all looked at me. I told, I will tell you, but never disclose it. They became more curious. Then I said, look, if I want to stay one night in New York City, just like in Kanpur, I'll ask Professor T.P. Misra, will you keep me one night at your home? I asked them. Everybody said, yes, we all. I said, do you know how many houses and apartments I have in New York City? Do you know, not only that, you have car? Yes. So you will be my driver. I will be sitting like this. Your car becomes my car. Your house becomes my house. You become my driver. Am I not very rich? In every city, I have so many houses. However, if really one energizes Muladhara Chakra in the right way, will be materially successful. Swadhisthana Chakra is the second, behind the genital organ in the spine. If one can energize it, we'll have a happy, successful family life. Nowadays, miserable family life. I'm sad to tell you, unhealthy relationship, broken relationship. Nowadays in India, it is becoming worse and worse. Those who are elderly people, they know how happy, joyful family life we had. However, the naval center, Manipura Chakra, Muladhara, Swadhisthana and Manipura. If you can energize Manipura Chakra, your health will be good. Your body will be beautiful and lustrous. So, Manipura Chakra. Anahata Chakra, the heart center, if you can energize it, you will be more loving, caring, compassionate, free from ego, emotion, unhappiness, anger, energizing Anahata Chakra. Vishuddha Chakra, which is in the cervix, in the neck, if you can energize it, activate it, you will be intellectual, philosophical, religious, with love for your own religion and love for all other religions. You will have a very, very broad outlook. Vishuddha Chakra. Now tell me, what more do you need? Materially successful, family success, happy family, good health, less ego, more love, and intellectually, philosophically quite advanced. Do you need anything more? The answer is yes, we need. You will say, what? We need to be spiritually enlightened. It will come through these two chakras inside the brain, if you can make it more active. So Kriya Yoga meditation technique, which is based on some breathing technique, energizing the 7 chakras, takes us into a state of real calmness, real blissful state, and one who practices it will get the result. I came to my Gurudev when I was 20 years young. I didn't learn Kriya Yoga immediately. It took a little bit time to see him and to... Then as a college, I was also a college student. I learned Kriya Yoga, and since that time till today I have been practicing it. You will ask, how long do you practice? Kriya Yoga meditation technique, minimum 15-20 minutes one can practice, begin practicing. One can increase it, but Kriya Yoga meditation technique has 2 aspects. One is the techniques, the other is following the technique. So it is a 24 hours practice. Kriya Yoga meditation is 20 minutes but 24 hours. You will say, how? It sounds contradictory. Yes, 20 minutes you follow some techniques, but 24 hours you maintain it. Am I clear? My Gurudev used to say, you take your car, fill fuel into the car for a couple of minutes, but drive hours after hours. So 20 minutes practice of Kriya, if you have less time, even 10 minutes, if you have more time, half an hour, but 24 hours you can maintain it. This is what Kriya Yoga meditation is. Kriya Yoga meditation technique is non-sectarian. It has no religious dogma. It is the beauty of India's culture, and especially Kriya Yoga technique. We have Christians, Muslims, Buddhists, Jews, Parsis, and so on. We have people of different faiths. If one is a Christian, will be better Christian. If one is a Hindu, will be better Hindu. So it is universal method of meditation. You will ask, how to learn this meditation technique? To learn this meditation technique, just like if I want to study in IIT, whether Kanpur or in Mumbai or Delhi or Kharagpur, I have to qualify, I have to take admission. So the Kriya Yoga meditation technique is like that. You should be initiated. Initiation of Kriya Yoga technique, in which the chakras are purified, and in Kriya Yoga meditation we experience, or each meditator experiences 3 things. One is to listen to sound of silence, to experience light within, and to feel the vibration of pranic energy, pulsation in the body, and go deep into meditation. During initiation, all these 3 they try to experience, and then one is to practice. One can practice at home. One can sit on one's own bed and practice. It has not too many do's and don'ts. Or don't do this, don't do this. Just practice it. You will feel gradually, I don't like it. It will come to you. We don't impose. This should be your food, this should be your... Nothing. Just practice this technique. Anybody following any spiritual path, following his own guru, own way, can also learn and practice Kriya Yoga. Kriya Yoga has no competition, it is a compliment to everybody. And if one practices Kriya Yoga, for example, when I came and practiced Kriya Yoga, I will tell some of the experiences or the benefits which I enjoyed. I was a born sick boy. You will ask, what happened to you? I did not like to be in mother's womb. I came out 7 months old. And in a village. And you just imagine, almost 59 years ago, so in a rural Odisha, not too much of medical facilities, I struggled and struggled and struggled just to survive. Till the age of 18, 19, not a single day without medicine. I remember when I was a little boy, today here injection, next day here, next day here, next day here, like this. When I was in my teenage, I was not able to climb up steps. After 5 steps, I had to stop. That was my condition. By God's grace, by the Master's grace, when I started practicing Kriya Yoga, you can imagine 1981 onwards, I have been experiencing, you can't imagine what type of health which I can describe. Can you imagine? Throughout the year I am traveling, throughout the year. And continent to continent, continent to continent. For example, today, this morning I came from Odisha to Delhi, to Lucknow, to Kanpur. After coming here, I took little food. No food, nothing, even no water. When I travel in the plane or train, I don't eat. This was a short flight. When I fly to America, to Australia, long flights, nothing. So if one meditates or practices technique like Kriya Yoga, will experience better health. I have experienced it. Countless people have experienced. One will have good health, good mind. I will tell you how good mind, little bit correlation. My Gurudev used to say, as is your breath, so is your mind. As is your breath, so is your life. I will give a simple example. When one is angry, how is the breath? Breath is fast. When one is restless, how is the breath? When one has fear, how is breath? Fast. When one has tension, how is breath? Fast. So now reverse. When one is relaxed, how is breath? When one is sleeping, how is breath? On an average 15 breaths per minute. In anger, in passion, the breath goes to the peak. 32 to 40 times per minute. When one is sleeping, it slows down to 12 times per minute. If one can consciously regulate breath, meaning one breath 4 seconds can make 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds gradually. No need to hold like this. Making your breath, I am telling this simple technique, you can practice it. If you want to learn Kriya Yoga technique, you can come day after tomorrow. But just every day sit down and practice slow, long, deep inhalation, slow, long, deep exhalation, 4-5 minutes. You are going for examination. Before examination, you have anxiety. Forget about it. Just sit relaxed. Slow, long, deep inhalation, slow, long, deep exhalation. Mind will be peaceful. Very simple technique. My Gurudev used to say, breath control is self-control. Breath mastery is self-mastery. Regulate your breath. You will regulate your life. Your life will be more enjoyable, beautiful. And in Kriya Yoga meditation, as I told you, you provide more oxygen to the brain. Brain power will increase, memory will increase. Life will be beautiful. So, I will not talk more. We will have few minutes of interaction because I love to interact. If you have question, you can ask me. And if I know the answer, I will tell you. If I don't know, don't know. Don't think that I am omniscient. So, if you feel on what I spoke, or if you have any question related to life or problem of life, you can ask me. Thank you all.
Questions, so you can raise your hand.
Yes.
Hello. My question is regarding exercise. So while doing exercise,
I understood your question. Any other question? I will hear the question and then I'll answer, because otherwise question and answer will have no limit.
Pranam Guruji. When I was young, I used to go with my father to weekly Bhagavad Gita discourses. But my mother used to tell my father that don't take him to these discourses, because when he will grow up old, he would become disenchanted and he would leave his family. So I used to think that this is such a good discourse, but why do the monks have to set such bad examples so our parents think that don't take a child to such discourse?
Thank you. Any more question?
Actually, I want to just ask about little bit restriction. Actually, just what is the drawback to think something little bit brings of that, so that you can motivate it? So, not properly things. Why it is?
No. Again, repeat your question. I'm not.
Can you give some glimpses of that technique? So,
Techniques.
so
Kriya techniques.
yeah.
Okay. In the back.
Namaskar, Guruji. Could you give me a hint of what more is there in Kriya Yoga beyond breathing?
Beyond?
Beyond breathing. Beyond breathing.
Beyond breath. Okay.
I want to know, is this same as the teachings taught by Yabodha Satsang Society, and what is the difference? Is this same as the teachings taught by Yabodha Satsang Society?
Thank you.
What is the difference?
Anybody else?
I've heard that Mahavtar Babaji is immortal. Is it true? And can you please explain the science behind it?
Okay. Thank you.
How important is Brahmacharya for enlightenment?
Thank you. God bless you. I think that's enough. Do you know?
Namaskar. So,
Again? Oh, I thought question is finished.
what is the importance of blessings or curses? How would a person bless or curse someone, and how does it affect the other one?
Bless and curse. Young intellectuals, I congratulate you for your questions. Do you know, anybody who asks the question knows the answer. I am not going to answer you. You said, what? You are told us ask question, now you are not going to answer. Do you know, you all know the answer. There are two types of questions. One is to test, the other is to know. One is to test, the other is to know or to learn. When I tell you know the answer to your question, you will say how? You just think. In the mathematics book, in the beginning there is problem, at the end there is yes or no. So class 5 math books, there is no class 8 problem, yes or no. So whatever question you ask, it is already in your brain. You just try to find, you will find the answer. We are not trying to find, so that's why we need some key books, some helping books. Can I get a quick result, quick answer? This doesn't help you. Use your brain, you will find the answer. Sometimes it happens when you ask a question, suppose you asked me a question and I answered you something, you will say, I'm not satisfied with the answer. Why? Because the answer which is already in your brain, you may not be thinking of knowing it, but it doesn't tell you that. That's why you are not satisfied. So, should I answer your question or no? Still, that I'll answer. Do you know? Because I'll fulfill my words. The first question was related to exercises. When one is doing exercises, the heart beats faster, one breathes faster, because there is lots of body metabolism going on. And doing exercises, many times you'll find we are breathing through the mouth. Okay? I'm not telling exercises are bad. It is good, but reverse it again. How to reverse? If you are doing, suppose half an hour workout, I want to burn out calorie and all this, do 5 minutes relaxation exercise to reverse the process. Am I clear? But if one is regularly practicing yoga or meditation, for that person there is no need of any other exercises. One who is regular in practice of yoga and meditation. In yoga and meditation, except suppose there are some breathing techniques they teach, although in Kriya Yoga we don't have such breathing techniques. Some breathing techniques, so they make it, so that is all right. Otherwise in yoga, the breath is more slow, rhythmic and deep breath. Am I clear? Another young man asked, when he was young, he was going for, Bhagavad Gita classes, he enjoyed, and the mother is telling, don't take him. Do you know? Swami Vivekananda, once he was talking to his friends, he said, is there anybody monk in your family? No. No monk in your family? Useless human life. Vivekananda is telling. Any monk in your grandfather, great-grandfather, anybody monk? He said, no, useless. Nobody monk in your family? Look, India's heritage is spiritual heritage, and that heritage is kept burning by the exemplary life of monks. I'll give you a simple example. One Vivekananda, how much change he brought in the whole world. One Yogananda, how did he affect the life of people? His book, Autobiography of Yogi, I don't know how many of you have read. It is still motivating millions and millions of people. Till now, the bestseller. Today I bought 2 copies of Autobiography of Yogi in the airport. Today I have bought it. So, do you know what happens? People live with fear. If my son will be monk, what will happen to me? One young little girl, maybe hardly 10, 12 years old, wrote me in 1995. I was in Europe. He wrote me that people go to monks, bow down to them, touch their feet, seek blessings, but they don't like their own children to be monk. Let other son be monk and we will go and bow, not my son becoming a monk. It's selfish life. It's too much of attachment to children. But if one is destined to be, will be. And in ancient India, everybody was becoming a monk. Do you know this? In the Vedic period, there was no old age home. Once they were retired, they were becoming vanaprasthis. After vanaprasthi, sannyasa, everybody was living the world as a monk. It was mandatory, joyfully. So modern life, we are born as a householder and we die as a householder. However, so what to do? Why did you not ask your mother that Paramahansa Yoganandaji, he wanted to run away from his family life and everything as a schoolboy. His elder brother, who was working in, Agra, was always forcing him to come back and taking him to astrologer and looking at the astrological chart And in the chart it was written he will marry 3 times. Paramahansa Yogananda ji. However, so this people live with some apprehension if my son becomes a monk, but nobody understands that if the son is a monk, he does so much to so many people, one can help society. You see, one Vivekananda, he brought so much of change in not only life in India, everywhere. What he has not done. And how many years he lived. One Jesus Christ, he lived for 33 years. 3 years of his ministry. One Sankaracharya, Acharya Sankara, 32 years of life. What he has done. But however, India's beauty, India's glory is the life of renunciation. And we all are renunciates. You will tell, is it so? Yes. If you cannot renounce something, you cannot receive something. You have renounced 1 hour, 15 minutes time to be here to learn something. This is renunciation. If you cannot renounce something, you will not get something. Am I clear? Thank you. The next question, can you tell some more technique? Kriya Yoga technique is not taught in public. Only one technique I told you, practice slow, long, deep, inhale slow, long, deep, exhale slow, long, deep. Practice this much and see what is happening to you. Do this much. The next question was related to Babaji Maharaj. Babaji Maharaj is, it is said that he is alive. Is it true? The answer is yes. Now you will ask, have you seen him? I will not answer. If I tell yes, you will tell, narrate this story. If I tell no, you will tell, then what type of yogi you are? You have not seen him. So I will not tell, but he is. He is, and till now also people are getting his blessings, his darshan, till now. Now the next question. The next question was? Blessing and curse. Look, we all are interlinked. If I smile, can you be angry with me? No. And to be angry, one needs lots of preparation. If I tell now, Professor Mishra, you become angry now. How can I be angry? You just shout. It can't be. But smile, for smile there is no preparation. For anger there is lots of, those who become angry, they are weak people. Those who are angry, they are not strong people. They are weak-minded, weak people. Those who are strong, they have lots of endurance and patience. And those who are weak, they curse. They might have power, it might have effect, but they are weak. I will tell from our mythology, one family, wife and husband, 3 children. How many? One is Chandra. One is Chandra. Chandra is cool, moon. Another is Dattatreya. You know Datta Guru Dattatreya. He is great. Another is Durvasa. Oh God, Mr. Durvasa, all are scared of him. One family, same parents, 3 types of children. Durvasa. And Durvasa had so much of trouble because of his own anger and short temper. So, curse and blessings. Look, your smile on your face is a blessing. Anger on your face is a curse. Joyful, pleasant appearance is a blessing. Gloomy and grumbling, grouchy face is a curse. What type of face do you need? Joyful, smiling or not? So, blessing and curse. Which question I left? One question I think I left. Brahmacharya. Brahmacharya. Brahma means God. Chara means to roam. The real meaning of brahmacharya is roaming in God or living in God consciousness. India is the country which speaks of discipline, discipline your life. Paramahansa Yoganandaji wrote in his autobiography, his father told, I can count how many times I have spent with your mother. His mother died young. When the father was retired, they wanted to keep one English nurse to take care of him. And he told, whatever service I could get from your mother, no other woman to serve me. This is India, India's culture, India's heritage, India's message. It is true, one who has more discipline, bottom chakra in financial discipline, second chakra the sexual discipline, navel chakra food discipline, heart chakra emotional discipline, next center intellectual discipline. Why I tell intellectual discipline? Because there are good intellectuals, but their thinking goes in wrong way. Pessimistic way, very critical, and which is not good. So we need discipline. Discipline is necessary. Discipline is good. So if your mind is becoming more and more focused, brahmacharya, self-discipline comes to you. And if nobody tells that you have to renounce family, Lahidi Mahasaya, the second picture, when he got initiated by his guru of his previous life, after that he got 5 children. After initiation in the Himalayas, 3 daughters and 2 sons. Family life. Staying in the family life, one can go into the peak of realization. Not necessarily one has to become a monk. Am I clear? So, brahmacharya means life of moderation. Even a married husband, married wife can be more disciplined. Am I clear? Thank you all. If I forgot your question, if you got something good, it is the words of the master. If you thought something is not useful, it is all foolish ideas from this person. Love God. Do you know, I'll conclude my talk with one. India has tremendous potentiality. I told you last 24 years I have been traveling all over the world. There is no country like India. Because I have seen the world, I am telling. Not that sitting here I am telling India is great. Unfortunately, we are not able to keep India's greatness because of our own mistakes. If I go on telling India is on one hand the dirtiest place. Even Sri Lanka is much cleaner, ecologically much better, less pollution, more green, no plastic polythene here and there. India is miserable. I will tell you, in India, if we tell in India there is corruption, in India there is this, those who are corrupt, they are all educated people. Farmers are not corrupt. Poor people are not corrupt. Rickshaw puller is not corrupt. Those who are educated, they are corrupt. There is something wrong in education. Think over it. We have to change this. We have to change our attitude. Same person from India going to USA, working hard. Same person, his friend is a bureaucrat, here is corrupt. Why? If we will be awakened, do you know, India has tremendous power. We have such good heritage, no country has. I tell sometimes in West, do you know, India is a living country. In India, you will find the people living the same life thousands of years ago. You go to the tribal areas, they are living as if thousands of years ago. And you can find ultra-modern life. So in India, the entire human civilization is there from the beginning till now. India is one country. Other places you go to Egypt. I have been to Egypt. So you will find pyramid is old. What is new? Here you will find everything. In the Himalayan cave, now also you'll find people sitting and meditating. So you'll find ultra-modern yogis sitting in air-conditioned room and meditating. So India is beautiful, but we have to make it really beautiful with a determined effort. And no change will come without individual change, individual transformation. You have to change yourself. I have to change myself. If one person changes, his surrounding will change. And change doesn't come by lecture. Change doesn't come by slogan. Change doesn't come by big, tall talks. It comes through inner change, inner transformation. I hope such beautiful, highly intellectual cream of India studying in IITs, and you are among them, and you will be good catalyst for bringing change into yourself and change in the society. Thank you all. God bless you all.